Welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got a independently bottled Dalmunach. It's 5-year-old. It's been finished for 11 months in a PX Octave, which is obviously a smaller cask, which means more interaction for the spirit. It's been left in there after 5 or 4 years of maturation in bourbon, and then the 11 months in the PX. It's bottled at 61.9% ABV, which is obviously quite strong. And what else is it? Yeah, Dalmunach has been built on the old Imperial distillery, which was demolished in 2013. It's a Speyside whisky. The bottle is around about £70 to £75 RRP. My fiance picked this up for me for a Christmas present after I tried it at the pot still and decided I wanted a bottle. So yeah, it's got like a little kind of glass cork looking topper, but it's not actually glass, it's a synthetic cork, so it makes it a little bit easier to come out. The bottles, I've heard a lot of, I was at Fife Whisky Festival, I believe that was, well, at the time of recording this, it was last weekend, but when this comes out, it'll be almost 2 weekends ago. So Fragrant Drops were there, George, and I believe it's Louise, I'm terrible with names, but they were there anyway, the owners of Fragrant Drops. And yeah, I heard a couple people mixed feelings on the bottles. Some people not enjoying them, some people really liking them, and to be honest, I think they're pretty cool. I think they stand out. I think the topper is just absurd, but I don't know, it just stands out and I think it's pretty cool. I've had quite a few examples from Fragrant Drops. I've tried various from the pot still, and like I said, I've been to whisky festivals where they have been, Glasgow Whisky Festival and also Fife, and I've tried quite a lot of other stuff. And to be honest, there's not one that I've been let down by, and obviously it's only drams, so not full bottles. But anyway, I have had this open since Fife. There's quite a bit out of it. I've been getting through it at a steady pace, or maybe rather a rapid pace. But yeah, we'll get down to the nose, the palate, the finish, and we'll see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So definitely, this has been sitting for a while. I've had it in the glass for a bit, and initially, it's maybe a little bit, the ABV maybe is a little bit prickly, but once you leave it to open up, let the air get to it, it really does benefit a lot from that. There's Nestle Carnation condensed milk, the little milk, kind of sweetened milk that you get in a tin. There's white chocolate with almonds through it, quite a sweet nose. There's the kind of, I want to say cheap, but I don't know how cheap they are, to be honest. I don't really buy them because I have the pods machine, but the instant cappuccino that you get, the instant mixture that you buy from, I don't know, well, you get it from the supermarkets, but you normally see them in hotel rooms, and this is why I'm thinking they're cheap, because I can imagine they can be bulk bought. The little sachets, they're like a little stick. You get them next to the kettle. Yeah, I think I know what you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's kind of like that. They're like sweet, dried milk and all the coffee in there. There's some yeast for sure, and there's also, and I've been drinking a lot of Guinness these last couple of nights using the NitroSurge can, and I'm definitely smelling like the creamy head of a Guinness. It is creamy. It's quite a sweet nose. I think it's quite a complex nose. I've got water sitting, but I'm not going to add it because I have added water to this, and I feel like it just subdues the nose and it doesn't really add much to the palate. So I'm going to just leave it the way it is with a full 61.9%. But yeah, we'll get down to the palate now. It's quite a spicy palate. It is a little hot, but it's spicy with a lot of ginger, some chili flakes, possibly some ground nutmeg, also maybe like a little bit of cinnamon. There's dark chocolate, which adds this bitter element to the spiciness. You could even say dark chocolate and chili or something like that. That kind of flavour composition. Those two put together. It's a little bit sweet towards the end, but the main components are the spicy bitterness. Probably some prunes and maybe something like burnt coffee or something. Yeah, like a burnt coffee flavour, just adding to that bitter kind of dark feeling to it. Also, maybe there's as well like this burnt flavour, maybe some burnt sugar or burnt brown sugar, something like that. You've maybe been trying to caramelise in a pan and you've maybe left it a little bit too long, it's a little bit burnt, a bit overdone. So yeah, quite a weird palate, but still enjoyable if you like those flavours, and I do. I'm enjoying it. The finish is long. There's definitely like a kind of treacle flavour. There's possibly something like a kind of creamy toffee, but once again like a little bit burnt, like a creamy burnt toffee flavour, or maybe even like fudge, like a burnt fudge. I don't know. It's weird. It's sweet. It's creamy, but there's also like a little bit of that kind of channin, that little burnt element to it. Not a lot of sherry coming through, other than did I say prunes? I think there was prunes in the palate. I thought this would be more dominated by the sherry because of the fresh PX. Oh, it's a firkin. Did I say octave? It's a fresh PX firkin. Better watch how quick I say that. But yeah, it's a firkin and not an octave. So yeah, I maybe got that wrong at the start. What else in the finish? Maybe some like molasses as well to go along with that treacle, to go along with the kind of burnt element to it, and that kind of bitter element. This is definitely not an overly sweet dram. The nose is very it deceives you. You are imagining this is going to be quite a sweet whiskey with the nose, and it's quite fantastic how it contrasts to the palate and the finish. There's still sweet elements in the palate and the finish, but they're more bitter and they're more burnt, and it's just very enjoyable and quite yeah, I think it's quite fantastic how it changes from the nose to the finish. But anyway, we'll get down to my rating of it, see if it's a whiskey win or a whiskey bin. So would I buy it again? Yeah, I would love another bottle of this. I think it's great. Like I said, I was off sherry for a bit. I'm kind of back to it, but this isn't. It is dark, but it's not overly sherried. I feel the spirit itself seems to come through, and like I say, I've only had this open for at this stage a week, and I'm just about halfway through it. So it goes to show you how much I've been enjoying it. And I've not been adding water to it. It doesn't really need it at the 61.9, and I think the PX Octave helps that. So I would buy it again. Do I think it's worth it? Now, obviously I'd buy it again, so I'm almost saying I think it's worth it, but I think it's a little bit heavy on the price. It's a little bit on the higher end for me. So Royal Mail Whisky's had this for £75, other places have had it for about £70. It's only 5-year-old. Yes, it's a limited run, there's 199 bottles. Yes, it's high ABV, cask strength, and it's got that maturation, that 11 months in the PX. But does it need to be that much? I don't know. I think that's a little pricey, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if the bottles have something to do with the price. I hope not, because I'd rather just a normal plain bottle and less a lesser price. But obviously it helps the whiskey stand out on a shelf, and that's their aesthetic. So yeah, I don't really think it's worth it. I think 50, maybe £60 at a push, because it is only 5-year-old. It's still quite it's a new distillery, Dalmunach. It's not that it's not that old, obviously, and yeah, I don't think it deserves that price tag personally. But would I recommend it? 100%. I think it's a great whiskey. Out with the price, I think the guys at Fragrant Drops and the gal, guy and gal, the people at Fragrant Drops are doing great things. Like I said, I don't think I've had a bad whiskey from them, from what I've tried at festivals, from what I've tried at pubs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring them as an independent bottler and buying more from them, quite honestly. So it's 33, other than the price being the bad point, so it's a Whisky Win. I nearly threw that coin against the wall, but anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.